Most people die at the age of 25 but aren't buried until 75. Most of us, we follow the same schedule that we followed yesterday or the day before, and most likely to follow tomorrow and the day after. Have you ever wondered what would happen if you disappeared for 6 months to solely focus on yourself? What you could have achieved 30 days after that most people do in a year? How your life would be different? I sure did. See, I didn't come from money, and most of my financial knowledge is mostly through the mistakes that I've made. I wanted a better life, so I thought productivity was about doing more, and that's how you achieve your dream. But I was completely wrong. But by the time I realized that, I've wasted years chasing the wrong thing, and I already hit the rock bottom. And that's when I realized I had to disappear from everyone and everything's radar. And what happens next completely changed my life. But does disappearing mean I went into the woods, cut off all communications with everyone, and went completely off the grid? I'll give you 5 best practices that I follow to disappear and 3 plans to achieve more in 30 days than most people do in a year. Now, here's a hot take. The rat race doesn't waste your time, it steals your dreams. Every day that you're stuck in the rat race, it takes you farther away from the life that you truly want. So what happens if you disappear for the next 6 months to reset your life? This is where most people get confused, when they think that disappearing means that you're running away from your responsibilities. Of course not. We don't run away from our responsibilities. And that's not what it means. Disappearing simply means that you're stepping away from all the distractions that our life brings and focus on what truly matters, which is yourself. But how do you actually disappear? We'll get into that, but first let's jump into the 5 benefits of disappearing. Think about your day-to-day life. You're waking up in the morning to the sound of the alarm on your phone. You're drowning in noises and notifications throughout your entire day. And not to mention the social media trap. Constant comparison with your friends and family. Portray a happy and successful life to stand out among them. But what if you can take a little break from all this distraction? Do you think that this will improve your life in any way? Actually, yes. A study from Mental Health Empowerment shows that taking a break from digital distractions can drastically improve your mental health and productivity. As a matter of fact, the Harvard study highlights how even short breaks from social media leads to better focus, reduced anxiety, and clear sense of purpose. Intentionally withdrawing from social interactions, both online and offline, to concentrate on personal growth and self-improvement. This practice often involves taking hiatus from social media, minimizing social engagement, and dedicating time to activities that foster self-awareness and development. Here are 5 benefits to disappear. Clarity about yourself. When you step away from all the noises, it will allow you to reflect on your goals, value, and what you truly desire, leading to a better understanding of yourself. Reset your mind. As I mentioned before from the paper of Harvard School, once your exposure to social media decreases, it will automatically decrease the feeling of anxiety, depression, and not to mention FOMO, the fear of missing out. It will automatically be the reason for your mental well-being. Get more done faster. Think about how much time you spend on social media that affects your productivity. Getting rid of distractions alone would enable you to focus on personal projects, skill development, and other meaningful activities, which will boost your productivity. Deeper connections. Our relationships have become more digitalized. We don't talk anymore. It's always about commenting, likes, and shares. Once you invest your time away from digital interaction, it can lead to more meaningful connection with your friends and family in real life. Digital detox. Once you take your time off from this digital life, which will reduce your eye strain, will improve your sleep pattern hopefully. You'll spend more time in the gym, which will contribute to your overall physical health. Now, if you're impatient like me, you're probably wondering how long does it take for the emotional clarity to surface when we disappear? Honestly, it varies for everyone. Studies suggest that even a short break from a weekly getaway from social media can significantly reduce emotional overwhelm and help you reconnect with what you actually feel. So now that you found out the benefits of disappearing, how do you actually disappear? Do you actually throw your phone away and start living in the middle of nowhere? No. It's actually not like that. It's not like you can actually go entirely off the grid. Our entire life revolves around internet and communication. We work from home, need to stay connected. Do you want to pay your bills? You need to stay connected. There's absolutely no way you can go off the grid, no matter how enticing that may sound. Disappearing simply means stepping back from what's distracting you, saying no to distractions and saying yes to intentional growth. It's not about isolation, it's about transformation. When you actually take the time to focus on yourself, you can look at the bigger picture more clearly. We'll get into the transformation next. Here are 5 practices you should follow to disappear. Set clear goals. Define what you aim to achieve during the period of disappearance, such as learning a new skill, improving physical fitness, or enhancing mental well-being. Establish boundaries. Inform close contacts of your intentions to take a break, ensuring they understand your need for a space while maintaining essential communication. Creating a structured routine. Develop a daily schedule that allocates time for self-improvement, activities, rest, and reflection. Limit digital consumption. Unplug from social media and other digital distractions to focus on your personal development without external comparison. Seek professional guidance if needed. Consider consulting with a mental health professional or life coach to provide support and strategies during your transformative journey. Once you step away from all the noise, something incredible happens. You reconnect with yourself. Your mental health improves, which makes your focus sharpen. And suddenly those dreams that you had, which felt impossible at the time when you had it, seems more possible. It feels like it's within reach, and that's when the transformation happens. We'll get into the transformation next, but before that, let me introduce myself. Hey guys, my name is Tasvir Mirza. I'm a realtor and a diversified investor. I spent years proving that poor decisions can in fact be a learning tool. And on this channel, I make videos about all the mistakes that I've made, so you don't have to. So if you want to keep track of all the mistakes that I've made, consider subscribing to this channel. And while you're down there, consider liking this video so YouTube knows that we like each other. Now, as I said before, most people will live the same year 75 times and call it a life. Is it actually going to be your story? What is the biggest risk you've ever taken? Let me know in the comment section below. Trust me, I know this because I used to feel the same way. Felt trapped. No matter what I did, nothing would change. And then I discovered the secret of transformation, which changed everything for me. This transformation isn't just possible, it's inevitable. Once you understand how to break free from what's holding you back, we are constantly under the pressure of being on all the time. Full day of distraction, responsibility towards our families, job, career. You're not the only one if you feel stuck. And the transformation happens when you decide to silence everything around you and take a step back. There's a study done by Psychology Today. It said, personal transformation is a continuous process of self-awareness, growth, and behavioral change. It's not about perfection. It's about progress, and it starts at the moment you come into it. So now you've disappeared. How do you actually transform, or when does that true transformation actually happen? If you think that you've disappeared and you wake up the next morning and you've all of it figured out, it's not going to happen like that. It's about taking deliberate steps to strip away from anything and everything that's not serving you, be it a distraction, toxic habit, or even the stories that you tell yourself about who you are. When you commit to the personal transformation, you change your habits that were not serving you. You change the story that you tell yourself about who you are. It changes the trajectory of your life. It's not about more than achieving the goals that you set up for yourself. It's more about the person who you truly want to be, and that shift starts from the moment you choose yourself first before anyone else. We'll get into the 3 steps that you need to practice to achieve more in 30 days than most people do in a year later on in this video. But here's something you can do to take the first step towards your transformation. If this is something that you want to start this week or whenever you're watching this video, take at least 1 hour from your day. Write down a list of everything that's holding you back, that's why you haven't taken the first step for your transformation. And on the following day, take that very first list item that you've identified which is holding you back to taking your first step and start working on it. It's all about taking that first step. Transformation, it's not about realizing what's holding you back. It's about breaking free from it and start taking action. And that's how you can turn 30 days into the kind of progress that most people spend years chasing. And that's what we're going to get into next. So do you think that your life could be different if you're transformed? 3 months or 6 months doesn't really matter at this point. It's all about taking that first step, and it's all entirely up to you. Make yourself a commitment. If you're ready, write down in the comment section below ready, so we know how many of you are about to take the first step. While you're down there, know that the YouTube's algorithm is watching. It likes it when you hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button. I promise not to haunt your recommendation too often. Okay, so now that you've escaped the rat race, disappeared, transformed, but the journey doesn't stop here. At this point, you need to take everything that you have gained and use it to start achieving what you always dream of. What if I told you that in 30 days, you could achieve more than most people manage to do it in a year? Most of us are grinding harder every day, but getting nowhere closer to where you actually want to be. But most people fail to realize that it's not about just running faster. It's about knowing exactly where you want to focus your energy. Think about someone that you truly admire, the ones that they have cracked the code. What's the difference between you and them? They're not chasing after every shiny object that they see. They focus on a few things that truly matters to them. Here's the problem with us. All of our lives, we have been told that work hard and stay busy. Have you ever stopped and think, busy doing what? Most of us are doing the task that doesn't even move the needle. We wake up day after day and still stuck, waiting for the big break. Instead of chasing that shiny object, we're going to get into some of the things that you can truly focus on. Don't worry, this is not going to be adding more to your plate. It's about cutting through the clutter and cleaning the mess and doubling down on what truly matters and work for you. Let me ask you, what's that one thing that you can start doing today that would make your life unrecognizable in about 30 days. I'll get into that answer and it will surprise you. But here's the thing. When you stop playing the same role that everyone else is playing, the results are extraordinary. By disappearing from all these distractions, you will not only start achieving more, but you will also become a better version of yourself, the version that you always wanted to be. So when you show up, it will not only shock the world, it will shock yourself. If you want to achieve more in 30 days than most people do in 365 days, you need to have a clear path. There are 3 critical steps to it. Before we jump into that, if you haven't made it this far, consider liking this video. If not, there's always the comment section for your complaints. If you want to read about other viewers' complaints, consider subscribing to this channel. Find what matters. Here's the truth. Not everything on your plate is worth your time. To break free, you need to identify the few high-impact actions that moves you closer to your goal. Focus on your 20% of the task that creates 80% of your result. For example, if your goal is to grow your business, focus on activities like sales and strategy, not obsessing over perfecting a logo or responding to every email. Ask yourself, what's that one thing that I can do right now to make everything else easier? Start there and let it create a ripple effect. Write down everything that you do in a day and circle the top 3 things that directly contributes to the bigger goal. Those are your priorities. Eliminate or delegate the rest. Execute with precision. Knowing what matters is only the first step. The real transformation happens when you put that knowledge into action. But here's the key. It's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about doing the right things consistently. Carve out dedicated and distraction-free blocks of time. Focus solely on high-priority tasks. Treat these blocks like sacred appointments that are non-negotiable. Find your natural high-energy period during the day and schedule your most important work during that time. For most people, this is the early morning or mid-morning. Use those hours to tackle your biggest challenge. Batching and deep work. Group similar tasks together. Dive into deep focus mode. For example, instead of answering emails sporadically throughout the day, set aside 30 minutes block to clear your inbox. This minimizes mental switching and keeps you in flow. At the start of every single day, write down the top 3 priorities to commit to finishing them before anything else. This keeps your focus sharpened and prevents distraction from derailing you. And finally, number 3, avoid burnout. This is where most people falls apart. They go on it for a few days, then they burn out and quit. To achieve more in 30 days, you need a system to sustain your energy and the motivation for the long haul. Focus on getting just 1% better every day. Over 30 days, those small wins compound into massive results. Incorporate short breaks to recharge throughout the day. Use techniques like Pomodoro method, work for 25 minutes, rest for 5. This breaks helps mental fatigue and keep you sharp. Every time you hit a milestone, take a moment to acknowledge it. Rewarding progress keeps your momentum alive and reinforces positive habits. Remember, progress beats perfection. If you stumble, refocus and keep moving forward. It's the consistency that counts, not flawless execution. At the end of each week, reflect on what worked and what didn't, and what you can improve. Adjust your approach as needed to stay aligned with your goals. And what's that one thing that you can start today? It's not about adding more to your to-do list. It's about taking something off of it. The fewer distractions you have, the clearer your path becomes. Start small, but start now, and you'll be amazed what is just possible in 30 days. But these are small steps that you're taking to achieve your goal. But how are people dumber than you are making millions? And I've discussed that in this video. And if you like the vibe, join the tribe. See you in this video.